Bladesmiths, welcome back to the Forge. This is a redemption challenge. Each of you suffered excruciating losses in your respective competitions that sent you home without the title of Forged in Fire champion or that 10 grand. But because you all showed skill and tenacity, you've been given another opportunity to compete for those things in front of our panel of expert judges. All right, gentlemen, you'll notice that your anvils are bare. The only steel that we'll be offering you today will be in the form of jackhammers. In this first round of competition, you'll be forging blades in your signature style using steel from these jackhammers. You will have 10 minutes to work on your design. You will have 3 hours to forge your blades. Good luck, Bladesmiths. Your 10-minute design window starts now.
I don't believe that my focus last time was 100% on competing. I think my focus was on the experience. So this time I'm here to win. My design is a hybrid kukri bowie. The kukri is going to give me the best chopping ability, and the bowie hybrid is going to give me a better slicer.
I think they're struggling to get the bits out of these jackhammers.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen when they start forging.
You son of a... I got it. I'm planning on making a competition chopper. Would easily handle chopping wood and should take a fish out, no problem. Last time, I just kind of was in a full panic. So this time, I think I'm just gonna try and maintain a little bit more composure, and I think I'll do a lot better.
I think I was invited back to compete because I'm beautiful. Coming back for a redemption, it's 3 different guys. Brand new, different challenge. Anything's possible. I'm gonna make a competition chopper because it's gonna take a beating, and it has a little bit of curve to the edge for slicing.
Bladesmiths, your 10-minute design window is closed. Your 3-hour forge time starts now.
Pretty confident that I have enough material to achieve the shape of knife that I'm trying to make. So I cut off the sides of the bit to make it easier to draw it out.
That's not a good move. A lot of times these guys will cut off steel and then need it later on.
Right.
Now, Eric, I think, has done a great job of forcing that blade down and drawing it out. So now he's got a nice, wide piece of steel.
Last time at this point right here, I was beating my head against the wall trying to split my stock.
That's probably the most difficult way to do this type of weld.
I was making mistakes and not changing my course of action. I know that if I screw up, if something happens, I'm off first again, and that is a pill I do not want to swallow.
It's moving good, everything's working out the way it should, and I've already got the thing curving in the right direction.
James is peeling off layers.
The temperature is getting a little warm.
Oh, get a tan!
My eyes! Ah!
Welding!
Oh, that's good.
Right now, I was still pretty good last time. It was when I got to the grinder was when I had the problem.
I realized that I'm drawing my steel out thinner than the parameters that I'd set for myself originally, so I need to alter my game plan.
That looks good, dude.
Might turn out a little bit skinny, but I think it's still got enough to do the job.
I'm gonna rely more on blade geometry than mass to meet the challenge.
Eric quenched.
When my quench comes out and my colors look great,
Mine feels good so far. I think I got it. Mine hardened okay, dude. I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's skated.
Earl just quenched.
I do the quench, I get a little bit of warpage. It was initially pretty alarming, but with Morgan's experience with his steel, what I was predominantly worried about was the hardness.
I mean, it's biting. Think it hardened at all?
Nope.
If this blade tries to chop wood and it's not hardened, it's going to fail the test. If my knife fails the test, that means I'm going home. So I decided to test it in the acid.
That's actually was very smart. The hardened steel is going to color up different than the softer steel.
Wow.
Something happened.
I can see that where I stopped my quench, there is a discernible difference between the steel.
Might not have gotten hard enough, but we'll never know until we actually test it out.
James, his blade's handy oiled.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him check the hardness.
He didn't get the memo. He doesn't care, he's not even checking.
I don't foul test my blade. I'm pretty confident that it's hard.
3, 2, 1. Bladesmiths, shut down your machines.
This is the strength and durability test. I'll be taking your blades and chopping into each of these beams 7 times. Remember, this is not about what happens to the wood. This is about what happens to your blade. James, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Last time I was on, my blade broke. So I'm thinking in my head, please, please, please perform well.
Not bad at all.
I like the blade design. It lends itself well to cutting, but there is a little bit of edge deformation here, a wire edge that's kind of rolled over a little bit.
Oh, man. At this point, there's a chance that I could be going home.
Eric, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Well, Eric, I like your blade shape, but when you leave the front of the handle flat, but you round off the back, it is very difficult to index this knife, but no damage to your blade. Well done.
Thank you.
Earl, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Good. Earl, I like the shape of your knife, and your handle feels very comfortable. But the problem is your edge geometry. It's pushing its way in, but it's not really cutting its way in. But no damage. Next up is the sharpness test.
Bladesmiths, I'm gonna take your weapon and slash across his fish. If it's sharp, it should glide through. James, you're up first. You ready?
I'm ready, sir. I'm feeling really kind of nervous because I don't know how well it's going to perform because of that roll on my edge.
When I grabbed onto your handle here, it fit nicely. But when I start moving it this way, I start to feel the edges right here. But it's definitely sharp enough to cut through the fish. Your blade will cut.
Thank you.
Eric, you're up. One thing I love about it is the balance. There was no drag. Felt good. It felt like I chopped something. So thank you for that excitement. The handle is smooth. There are no rough edges, and it will cut.
Thank you.
Earl, your turn. You ready?
I'm nervous right now. I've made a solid knife, but I think it could be sharper.
You have a stunning and beautiful looking blade. The handle, it's smooth, but you can see some indentations right here, which shows that there might be an area here that's not as sharp. It didn't glide all the way through, but your blade will cut.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear that.
With as thin a blade as Earl had, it should have been a slicer. I feel my chances of moving on to round 3 might be looking better.
Bladesmiths, it's time for one of you to leave the forge. Earl, your blade did not make the cut. Jason will explain.
Earl, you made a beautiful knife. I love the shape of it. You had a good handle on it, but you just didn't grind it to produce the kind of edge that you need to cut with. When I was doing the log chop, it was bouncing off of the wood. It's just not sharp, and that's why we have to send you home.
Understood.
Please surrender your blade.
It would have been really nice to move on to the final round, but just wasn't in the cards. I had a chance to show what I could do, and that was way more than I did the first time. And as far as redemption goes, that's about as much as I could ask for right there.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the great outdoors. And as we stand here in the dry moat of Fort Tompkins, I think about castles, which makes me think about hand-to-hand, sword-to-bloody sword combat. And there were a few civilizations on Earth that were really good at it. Today, we're gonna pay homage to a very special breed, the Vikings, by using these. Coal forges. Today, you're making Viking Seaxes that are between 10 and 12 inches in length, not including the tang.
I never made a Seax before, so obviously Like, oh crap, here I am on TV doing something for the first time, but what are you gonna do?
Now, let's talk steel. See, the Vikings were plunderers. They kind of just picked up stuff wherever they went and they made do. So today, you'll be improvising by harvesting the steel that you need from our sword graveyard. You will have 4 hours in this round. At the end of 4 hours, one of you will have to surrender your blade and leave the forge. Good luck, Bladesmiths. Your 4 hours starts now.
I think the hardest part of this challenge is going to be making sure I pick the right piece of steel. I want something with a lot of mass so I can get the length that I need. I see a sword sticking out and I see a shiny ball on the pommel, so I pick that up and get back to get that coal fire lit.
After everyone else hoofed it up there to get their material, I grab a broken sword blade. It's going to be a difficult challenge because in my home forge, I let my machines do the work for me. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to give this everything I have. It's DevCon level 10.
I'm used to coal forging. I coal forge outside, in the sun. This is exactly what I do all the time.
Jeff has the biggest hammer I've ever seen a smith bring here.
I brought this 8-pound sledgehammer just because I had a feeling that if we did a coal challenge, that I might need something bigger.
You can work in spurts with that, but eventually it's gonna tire him out.
This hammer is getting very heavy. Can't swing it much longer.
I brought an apparatus called the Miller Cool Belt, which is this fan apparatus and blasts air down on your head.
Joel is putting on a respirator.
Wow. Yes, it's his spacesuit.
He's allowed 3 tools. That counts as a tool.
It's like one of those race car units that puts the cold air around your head. Hey, you know, if it works, yay.
So I'm working the ball bearing and I know that I've made a mistake.
Where I could make it move, it's not.
Very hard under the hammer.
Okay, calm down. I've got the decision process of I can sit here and fight this, or I can get a new piece of steel.
Is that graveyard still there?
I'm gonna abandon the ball bearing.
Jeremiah, I got a piece. If you want that. You get that? You can have it.
Jeremiah abandoned that ball bearing.
That was dumb.
Time is not on my side. I need to move this metal fast.
Chris quenched and now he's in a vise.
Yep. You know, it's straight. It's just a taste under 11 inches, so that's right in the middle of the parameters. Now my concern is does it actually look like a Seax or not? Because I'm still not 100% sure what a Seax is.
Oh, there's a quench.
All right. Jeff is in the fire.
The blade file tests, but I'm afraid that I'm not getting as even a heat on it as I should have. Not crazy about it. And there could be a soft spot or two in the blade.
Can you see Jeremiah's work over here? He very quickly took that down.
Once I changed my plan, things started going a lot better.
The time to actually quench this knife is upon me.
I'm a little nervous about it, but all in all, I'm actually feeling pretty good about it.
Who's in the bucket?
Jeremiah's in the quench.
It's straight.
And we are hard.
I'm very happy. I have a knife now.
Joel, who's just trying to come from behind, trying to make up time.
Well, that blade doesn't look 10 inches to me.
So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, I got to get this thing into the oil. This is intense.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmiths, drop your tools. This forging round is over.
Are y'all glad that's over with?
Whew. All right, judges, let's take a closer look at our contestants' work. We'll start with Jeremiah.
This is by far the most classic Seax shape. I mean, it feels nice. There's weight to it. The only thing I would have liked to have seen is him draw this blade out. He has the material here. It would have been nice to have another ½ inch of blade.
The hardest thing with that unknown material is make sure you got enough mass to stretch over that That's why I made the bonehead of grabbing that giant ball bearing.
So let's move on to our next bladesmith, Jeff.
Jeff has a solid shape for a Seax. I like that he was able to get this through with those big hammers that he was doing. My big concern is this handle right here, this tang right here. It's short and stubby for the blade.
Let's move on to our next bladesmith, and that is Chris.
Well, Chris turned in a very finished blade here. It's got the right profile to it, and it's got a full tang handle coming along. I think it's a nice piece.
Yeah, he's given us a sort of a modern take on a Seax by putting this finger well in it. Not a huge fan of these, but this one lines up. The way it swells sort of puts my fingers where I want it to be.
All right, and let's talk about our last bladesmith, Joel.
It's really rough. He ground in a little bit of bevel to it, but the back isn't straight. It also has a very tiny tang. I don't know what, he would have to add something here to make this a useful tang.
I'd like measurement. It looks short. Blade's supposed to be between 10 and 12 inches. Failure to meet even a single one of our parameters is grounds for immediate dismissal from the forge. Bladesmiths, the judges have evaluated your work and they've made their final decision. The bladesmith leaving the forge is Joel. Your blade did not make the cut.
Joel, I actually liked where you were going with the design of your blade with that really aggressive point, but it failed to meet the length parameter by about a 1/4 inch. So that's why we're letting you go.
Joel, please surrender your blade.
I know I'm going home this first round, but that's not going to slow me down. This experience is speeding me up, if anything.